All right, guys, welcome to the show. Got an exciting one here for you. A short and quick one, but right to the point, and a very important one as well. Are these running backs the real deal? I got three of them for you that are in a great position to succeed this year. And I mean, a great position meaning they could be RB1, really tear it up, finish as top 10 running backs. But there is some question marks, okay? Are they the real deal? And I want to make this interactive, so make sure you guys do below. Drop a comment below. Let me know. Do you agree with these guys once I give you guys my verdict on them? Are they the real deal? Or are they going to get messed up this year and have a rookie come in or something like that, or just have a big decline? So very important, guys. Three big names here. I'll give you their ADPs, whether you should draft them or not. Everything laid out here for you. I love talking running backs because I can sit here and talk running backs all day. Love the conversation, all right? Also, big announcement, guys. The Fantasy Sports Summit, we got 5 names confirmed for the Sports Summit. Guys, it's a virtual conference and a live stream where you get a chance to interact with NFL athletes, ask questions, fantasy football mock draft, PS5 giveaway, and the names confirmed. Check this out. We got Tajay Spears. We got Trey Benson, the top rookie prospect coming in. We got Frank Gore Jr., son of Frank Gore, who is projected to go possibly the 4th round. We're going to see where he ends up as well. We got Rashid Shaheed and we got Pat Fryermuth as well. Amazing people, amazing NFL players going to be at the summit, guys. You can book your ticket below. It's on August 21st. It's a Wednesday night. Book your ticket below, guys. Secure your ticket. I've linked it below. Of course, you can also combo that with the 16-round draft solution. Guys, you're going to be light years ahead of the competition. Secure your ticket to the summit and the 16-round draft solution. Sleepers, breakouts, everything you need. Printable cheat sheet. Going to crush your leagues. Get your tickets below. I've linked it below. All right, guys? Secure your tickets. Guys, this is huge. No one else has done this. Amazing stuff. All right, let's dive into this. Again, smash thumbs up. And I also noticed the 70% plus people that watch this channel are not subscribed. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now. And of course, smash thumbs up. All right, let's talk about the first running back is Kyren Williams. I want to talk about him. Is he the real deal? He doesn't have much competition there. Ronnie Rivers, Royce Freeman. Now, the big question is heading into this draft, and again, I don't lay out 16-round draft solution till after the NFL draft. The big question is, are they going to draft another running back? Are they going to bring someone else in? Are they fully sold on Kyren Williams? That's the big question mark here. So I've looked at the stats. Looked amazing last year. Understand he was a third, he's in his third season, and he was a 5th round pick. Now, I'm always speculative about fifth round picks because the team has not invested high draft capital in them, and it really makes me question, are they the true running back one? Now, we have Jimmy the Maverick on the show, who's kind of like really questioning the situation based on calling Kyren Williams a little undersized. I don't think he's undersized. 5'9", 195 pounds. He's a goal line guy. 12 touchdowns last year. 228 attempts, 1,144 yards on the ground, 32 receptions, 206 receiving yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. This guy had 15 touchdowns combined. This is huge, guys, and over 1,300 scrimmage yards. This is amazing in 12 games. So when I look at a guy like Kyren Williams, who didn't play the full season, was a 5th round pick, was underrated, in a sense that like, okay, well, we drafted him in the 5th round pick. We're not going to draft high draft capital on him. And he still tore it up last year. This is a huge, man. So again, got a little bit hurt last year, but he's going to be bouncing back. I like him. The only problem with Kyren Williams this year is that he is expensive. RB6 off the board. That is huge draft capital for a guy who has not finished a full season and again, was a 5th round pick. We're going to have to see what happens and how it unfolds with the NFL draft. But based on talent, based on opportunity, based on the current situation and scenario, he is the real deal. Because what he achieved, the numbers he achieved, finishing as a top 10 running back with only 12 games, is amazing. So Kyren Williams to me is amazing. But the big question is, will I be willing to pay a 1st round pick? Now, personally, if you ask me, I would rather have myself a Breece Hall or a Bijan Robinson. But this is ultimately up to you. It's what offense you believe in and who you believe in. But I don't see any reason why Kyren Williams, if healthy, barring any type of injury, is not a top 10 running back. Again, he should be based on the numbers we've seen, based on the talent we've seen, based on the opportunity situation. He is absolutely primed. Again, you got to ask yourself, do I want to pay a 1st round pick, top 6 running back overall for a guy who hasn't finished the season? That's ultimately up to you. Drop your questions below and your comments. Let me know. Are you going to invest in Kyren Williams that early? Are you willing to pay the price? Let me know. All right. Running back number 2, the real deal. Is he the real deal? And he's coming to the Fantasy Sports Summit as well. By the way, Kyron Williams has already given me a confirmation. We're just waiting for the signature. Kyron Williams will be at the Fantasy Sports Summit as well. So grab your tickets below. Again, the card is subject to change as we're trying to figure out who's locked in, who's not. Kyron Williams' agent has given me a verbal confirmation that Kyron will be there. It's going to be amazing. We're waiting on a signature, but Tajay has signed. Tajay will be at the Sports Summit, and he's the next guy on my list. Is he the real deal? Sitting as RB25, way better value than Kyron Williams, but very unproven in the sense that he's not put up Kyron Williams type numbers, and that's where you're going to get the value. 100 attempts last year, 453 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 70 targets for 52 receptions, and 1 touchdown receiving. Now, understand, with Derrick Henry gone, that frees up 280 targets. That is amazing stuff, guys. And when I look at a guy who was drafted in the 3rd round, high draft capital, I take a look at him and say, hey, this guy is going to be the Derrick Henry replacement. I understand that the shoes are big to fill. It is Derrick Henry, but understand that Tajay Spears was drafted to theoretically replace Derrick Henry, and he was behind Derrick Henry. So understand that he has that experience and he has been working with him and has seen what Derrick Henry can do. Now, everyone's concerned about Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard ranked 21 amongst RBs compared to 25, which is Tajay Spears. I really like the value here of Tajay, who is going to be the one over Pollard, who's slated as the one. Tony Pollard had the opportunity to shine last year, 252 attempts, 1,000 yards, okay? That's it. I think he had like 6 touchdowns. He fumbled 3 times. He did not get it done last year. Tajay Spears, again, had the opportunity, was a 4th or 5th, I think it was a 4th round pick back in 2019 by the Cowboys. So 4th to 5th round pick, not very high draft capital, was a backup for years, had the opportunity to be the starter, never did. So the question you got to ask yourself is not so much is who's the RB1. You got to take a look at the situation. Yeah, you got to ask yourself that. But the big question is, who was the higher draft capital guy? Tajay Spears. Okay, great. Who was he drafted by? Tajay was drafted by the team that he's actually on. Pollard was drafted by executives from the Dallas Cowboys. So Tajay was a guy that Tennessee, deliberately drafted. So that's the guy they believe in. He's better value, more upside, and I understand that he's had some knee issues. He's missing an ACL. But he's already come out in interviews and said, listen, that's not going to affect me. I believe Tajay is the real deal, and I don't got to pay very expensive draft capital for him. He can be my RB3 on my team with RB1 upside, and that to me is all I need to see. Tajay Spears, everything moving towards him being the RB1 and the guy with more upside. And again, you're seeing it, way more value as RB25 compared to Pollard's RB21. And this is what happens. What happens with the confused is they get confused. Like, I don't know who the RB1 is, and they're indecisive. Listen, you got to make a decision and go with it. You got to put your chips in and say, I'm in on this guy or this guy, and I've given you the facts on why I like Tajay Spears. Young, dynamic, 3rd round, higher draft capital, and the replacement for Henry. Pollard was brought in to add depth. Now, some people say, well, Pollard could be the RB1. He was the RB1 in Dallas, blah, blah, blah. You can make those debates as well, but I would rather have them bring in Pollard because they need depth at this position over a guy like Josh Jacobs or Saquon Barkley. And they didn't do that. They brought in a Pollard, which is a backup, bona fide backup, okay? So Tajay, real deal? I say absolutely. 3rd guy here. Again, smash thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below. Make this interactive, guys. If you hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. This is the real deal. I help you guys actually win your leagues outside of the box thinking, all right? Let's go to it. Zamir White, okay? RB31 right now. The good news is they brought in Madison. Some people, again, similar to the Pollard situation, like, oh, they brought in Madison. Should I be concerned? No, this is great news, guys. They brought in Alexander Madison. He sucks as well. Had the opportunity to be an RB1 and failed. These guys are failed RB1s, bona fide backups. They are not RB1s. Zamir White has the chance to be that. Now, he was the 4th round pick, is the only kind of question mark I have. But this guy absolutely tore it up at the end of the season, was getting the volume, was getting the attempts, was getting the yardage, absolutely crushing it. Now, again, 4.3 yards per carry. We need to see more out of him. We need to see more volume. Didn't really get it done. 233 targets are now freed up with Josh Jacobs being gone. Zamir White has the youth. He has the talent. He has the upside. Came alive at the end of the season. Was the workhorse guy for the Raiders in a massive market. I don't think they're going to draft another running back because they brought in Madison. And Madison, similar to Pollard, is not a threat to me, guys. I'm not concerned about Alexander Madison being the RB1. That is why I think Zamir White is the real deal. The Raiders know what they got, and I really believe the Titans know what they got with Tajay and Zamir. These guys are young guys, and if you ask me, are they the real deal? Yes, they are. Obviously, there's question marks in the back of their mind, and a big part of that is when you look at the ADPs, when you're doing fantasy, you're like, oh my God, these guys are so low. That's great. Get them for value. They've got that RB1 upside, and I've explained why, okay? Don't get discouraged by looking at things. Now, last year, Dalvin Cook looked super attractive, right? He was a top 12 back on the consensus, on the Sheep's rankings. I said, do not draft Dalvin Cook. J.K. Dobbins looked attractive in the rankings. He was a 3rd or 4th round pick. I said, don't draft J.K. Dobbins, right? Austin Eckler looked attractive. He was a 2nd running back off the board. Don't draft Austin Eckler. Tony Pollard was a 1st round pick, end of 1st round pick. I said, don't draft Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard busted. They look attractive, but you get the value later. Nobody liked, again, don't believe in rankings. They won't help you, right? You take a look at a guy like Sam Laporta last year, ranked 21st amongst tight ends. Even prior to the NFL draft, he was unranked, or sorry, just after the NFL draft, he was unranked. Nobody was talking about him. He was basically outside the top 30. He started moving his way up, but he got as high as tight end 21, right? In PPR. So Laporta, off the radar, but he crushed it. He's the #1 tight end, and that's what I lay out in 16 rounds, guys. I lay it out for you. I tell you the optimal players drafted each round, and I don't go by rankings. I look for the best value, omitting the guys that are going to craft the bed that are due for a regression year. Guys, it's very important that you do not draft based on consensus rankings. They will not help you. And I look at Tajay, I look at Zamir, amazing value. And they could outperform Kyren Williams. We never know, right? It depends on the ADP, the value, and you can get these guys, and they could be RB1 on your team with top 10 upside. Yes, top 10 upside for Tajay and Zamir White. Given the volume and the opportunity, they've got that type of potential, all right? Tons of targets freed up, guys. Tons of attempts. 280 freed up in Tennessee, 233 freed up in Vegas. Someone's got to eat, and these guys are prime in line to do so. Guys, smash thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Drop a comment below. Are these running backs the real deal? Kyren, Tajay, Zamir White? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon.